Hello, readers, and thank you for joining me for lesson number 2 of our R Controlled Vowels. And yes, we've already done a series on R Controlled Vowels, but we haven't done these yet. And so we want to make sure that we cover all the R Controlled Vowels this year. Our lesson today is we focused in on AR, OR, ORE, and OAR. Now, 3 of these make the same sound, OR, and one makes the sound R. So I want to go ahead and go over those. There is some basic rules that we have for those. OAR, OR, ORE. When do we use them? How do we use them? Well, OR can go in the beginning, middle, or end of a word. So it can go anywhere. OAR can go in the middle or end of a word, unless it's a word by itself. The word or is, kind of like a paddle. And ORE can go in the middle or end of a word. So basically, most of them can go anywhere. But just know when you hear it, if it's at the beginning of a word, most likely it's OR, unless it's talking about oars like you paddle with, and then it might be OAR. And it's not much help, but it is some consistency. So let's go back to what our 4 are this week. We always start by practicing writing our words. So get out your dry erase board and marker or your white paper and pencil, whatever you're going to use. And we're going to practice writing them. We're going to write them 3 times each. And as we write them, we're going to make the sound like we always do. So let's start with the only one that's different. Let's start with AR. Let's write it 3 times. And each time, let's say R. That's right. So let's go ahead and get started. R. 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 Next. Let's go to OR. Let's write it 3 times and say OR. That's right. OR. 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 Next, let's do ORE. OR. 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 And last, let's do OAR. Or. 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 How'd you do? Now, the reason we practice writing that, it does help you remember what those sounds are when you see them written down. It also helps you remember how to spell them as well. So we want to make sure it helps us read and it helps us write. So let's go ahead and get started with some blending. And we're going to end with some word chaining today, which will be a little fun. Let's get started. Sound. R. Sound. Put that together. Arm. Arm. Most of us have 2 arms. Sound. Sound. Or. Put that together. Soar. Or. Soar. Birds fly. They soar in the sky. Sound. W. Sound. Or. Put that together. Wore. I wore a blue shirt yesterday. It's the past tense of the word wear. Next. Sound. B. Sound. Or. Put that together. Born. Put that together. Born. B. Or n. You were born, and that's why you're here. Next, let's go over some blends, digraphs, vowel teams that we've already learned this year. If you haven't, well, this would be a great introduction. Say these with me, please. Pull. Sk. Stir. Cur. O. Spool. Sh. Or. F. Oi. O. Mp. E. E. Oi. And IE makes two sounds. It can say E or it can say I. Very good. So we're going to do a little bit of silent blending today. We're not going to do as much because I want to end with some word chaining, which is be a lot of fun. Are you ready? Let's get started. Chart. Roar. Core. Thorn. Porch. Store. Board. Spark. How'd you do? All right, are you ready for some word chaining? Now, if you remember before, we've done this before. It's what we're going to do is we're going to make slight changes and see if we can figure out what the new word is going to be. So let's start with the word star. Think about the word star. What if I change R to or? What's my new word? Store. What if I say store, but I delete the T? What's my new word? Soar. What if on soar, I change the S to a M? What's my new word? More. Now, let's look at the word more and change the M to a B. What's my new word? Bore. Now, if I have the word bore, what if I change the B to a K? What's my new word? Core. What if I add the N to the end of core? What's my new word? Corn. What if in corn I change the N to a D? What's my new word? Cord. What if on cord I change the K to a B? What's my new word? Board. What if on board I change the B to a F? What's my new word? Ford. What if on Ford I delete the D? What do I have left? For. What if on for I change the or to R? What's my new word? Far. On far, what if I put a at the end? What's my new word? Farm. Now on farm, what if I change the R to or? What's my new word? Form. How'd you do? Did you get all those changes? I'm sure you did fantastic. Thanks for staying with me till the end of the lesson. And until next time, happy reading.